YouTubers, family and friends, welcome again to the channel. And this is my autistic son John. He's having his breakfast this morning, and he swam this morning. Did you swim, John? Did you swim, buddy? Huh? Good job. And yeah, it was a little bit overcast this morning, but earlier this morning, but now it's real nice and sunny. The pool looks great. I didn't swim, but John and Leo and my wife, Filipino wife Lilibeth, she swam too. So yeah, it's looking real good today. Welcome to the channel on the Homestead. I got my cup of coffee here. I'll go down by the pool here and show you guys what I've been up to. It's always busy at the homestead here. It's a pretty big place. I been taking the power washer and I washed all these bricks. They were just covered with moss and bird poop and seeds that the birds spread. So I got all this brick pretty clean now. Usually once to twice every year I gotta clean with the power washer everything, because the jungle has this black stuff that goes everywhere. So you gotta clean everything up real good once or twice a year. I try to do it after the rainy season is over. Here's the chef kitchen complex here. We got a stock room here. We got lots of freeze-dried food, lots of canned food. Some of this stuff is stuff here's some baked beans that I canned myself, and some pickled carrots and pickles. Just a lot of stuff I got, we got cases and cases of sardines and beans and pancit, and we got a lot of noodles and rice and long-term storage. Just some of the stuff that we do here, and the kitchen here, the chef kitchen is nice for canning. I got my pressure cooker out there, and this is the bucket, 5-gallon buckets I put long-term macaroni or rice in for long-term storage. And then we got the big refrigerator here, and it's a good place if you got a big project for weddings and big family get-togethers and stuff. It's great for preparing big meals. It's really nice for that. And so the pool, like I say in the previous videos, I just had the pool completely redone, remodeled, refurbished, whatever you want to call it. So it's a lot of new tile and all new grout from the tile. And I keep one of the pumps running on real low speed 24 hours a day now, so I don't have to worry about it getting green on the pool. Just got to put a little bit of chlorine in it, and we're good to go. So I want to kind of talk to you guys about kind of what's going on and some of the reasons why I have a homestead here in northwest Mindanao, way out in the boonies in the deep jungle. And here's my tower. A lot of you guys have been new subscribers, like my tower. It's a 100-foot tower. The only drawback is some of the birds, the blackbirds, you try to nest up in there. I got some netting and stuff, but that's the only problem with them. Those red-eyed demon blackbirds, those are the only problems with the birds I have here. But there's apartments and a bar, and my office is in the tower. I use the office several times a week, and the two apartments we're in the future we'll be renting them, but for now it's like guest rooms for whenever we have people guest over for guests. So a lot of you have been commenting different comments, and this is kind of a comment back to some of my subscribers and people that are leaving comments. One thing I wanted to let everybody know, one of my subscribers asked that, he's heading for the Philippines in retirement, and he's going to be bringing, he's got silver and gold, and he says, well, should I, sell all my silver, or should I, before I come to the Philippines, or, what should I do? And I mean, if you need the money, sell your silver, but I wouldn't sell all of it, because I mean, in my opinion, we're going to be over $100 on silver probably within the next year or two, or maybe even sooner. I don't know for a fact of that, right? But I think we'll definitely be. So the only thing bad about bringing your silver to the Philippines is that there's no market here for selling silver. I've sold gold to goldsmiths and gold shops and gold dealers, and I've pawned gold at pawn shops several times over the years, because Southeast Asia, it runs off of gold, and that's the truth. It's cash and gold. Credit is used here, of course, but it's very small amount, and people that get into too much credit, you're going to have a big problem with that. There's a huge problem here with credit, like there is in the world, because it's too easy to get credit and then get yourself in big trouble. So savings is saved in gold here, so if you're wondering about that. But if you have silver, yeah, bring some. Eventually, if the silver price gets so high, some of these gold shops and goldsmiths will start taking, and pawn shops will start taking silver, only if the price gets super high. But even though that the Philippines has one of the biggest silver mines in the world here, and gold mines, actually over the past 1,000 years, or even into the 1700s, last few hundreds of years, gold and silver, the Philippines produces the highest amount in the world. And even in the statistics today, it says that Philippines is the second highest gold producer in the world, only followed by South Africa. But in my opinion, there's more here because there's a lot of private mines here, and there's not very many countries in the world with more gold and silver. It's hard to get to, and it's concentrated only a few areas. But one thing about Mindanao, where I live, it's the most southern island of the Philippines. There's so many untouched areas, untouched as far as mining goes, because it's so hard to get to. Because it's a mountainous, deep jungle, thick jungle area, right? Luzon, which is way in the north, which is where the capital Manila is, that's been the most exploited island of all the islands, because that's where most of the people are, and over history, that's where most of the gold mining was done. But there's still totally untouched areas, especially in Mindanao. I mean, we only got even roads in the area where I am in northwest Mindanao within the last 5 years. Honestly, I mean, when I first got here, the road system was so bad. I mean, it took you 3 hours where it only takes me an hour now. That's how much they've improved the roads in the last 5 years. And that was due to President Duterte, the last president before Bong Bong. He was from Mindanao, so he, made the road systems and infrastructure way better than it had been for many, many, many years since the independence of the Philippines, which was 1946. So yeah, What's going on in the world right now, and the reason why I'm way out in the deep jungle like this is because not only this is where my wife was from and grew up, but this is where I wanted to have a retreat away from the world and away from nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, these countries that that's all they do is produce weapons and kill and bomb each other. And in my opinion, someday there's going to be nuclear exchange to the point where these countries that have nuclear weapons, they're going to be nuked. So pretty much all countries that produce and have nuclear weapons are going to be nuked eventually. When's that going to be? Next week or 100 years from now? We don't know. But the system in the world right now is gonna change, and it's gonna change fast and hard. When that's gonna happen, we don't know. I've been waiting for this system to collapse the last 30 years, but until that day comes, you just have to prepare. And the best way to prepare is get yourself in a place where you're going to be the most safe that you can think of in the case of anything, in total system collapse, or nuclear exchange, or famine, or catastrophic, natural disasters, whatever you can think of. And that's why I'm in Northwest Mindanao. We don't get hurricanes and typhoons here. It's very, very rare in this area, and we do get some earthquakes, but they're very small because we're not near major fault lines. So you got to think of all this stuff, guys, where to locate in the world. And then when you just do decide on a country, you got to say, okay, where is the best place in this country that's away from natural disasters and where you have long-term survivability. So, and then you go from there and then start buying your land and blah, blah, blah. So the main thing with a homestead, you grow your own food, whether it's livestock, gardens, fruits, whatever, and then you can some of that. You sell some of that at the markets. There's markets all over the place in the Philippines, mom and pops markets. Every single barangay or municipality has a market area where they sell fish and meat and herbs and spices and vegetables and fruits, and all that happens here in the Philippines everywhere. It's the whole culture of the whole country. And that's what you want to be. You want to be in an area where you can do that at all times, where you got the whole community for hundreds of miles around. That's the way they survive, is by growing and selling to the communities, every kind of food you can think of. And because food and water supply are going to be number one if major catastrophe happens. If the monetary system blows up and you're waiting for months and years for a new system to come around, all you need is food and water and shelter, right, guys? And as far as weather goes in the Philippines, you never have to worry about weather, because even without electricity, you can survive just fine. Go in the shade, and if you can get in the shade, and with a hand fan or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, I have solar here and I have battery backup for that, and I have generators, but you got to think of all the possible scenarios. That's what survivalists do. They try to think of every possible scenario that there is, and that's why I've sold everything in the US and come to the Philippines. And I've built a family here. I built an estate here. I've bought land, and yes, I own land. Why? I'm joint ownership, conjugal ownership, joint ownership of land, because I'm married to a Filipina. I got married in the Philippines. Only single foreigners can't own land, but married foreigners absolutely own land. I have it all in documentation. It's all legal in the Philippines. The Philippines Constitution protects the family. It goes on and on and on. Yes, I have weapons here. Why do I have weapons here? I don't own weapons because foreigners can't own weapons, but my Filipina has obtained all the permits that's required, and the law in the Philippines is You can have a bodyguard. So your bodyguard, so my wife, I'm my wife's bodyguard, can carry her weapons to protect her. That's the law in the Philippines. So I shoot guns, hold guns, carry guns. I do all that in the Philippines. So it's just like I was in the U.S. I can do pretty much anything I want. If I have a massive gun range practicing, as a courtesy, I let the local Philippines police know what I'm doing, just so people around aren't suspicious of lots of gunshots and stuff going on. And as long as they know, then it's fine. And also, I've integrated myself into the local community by even the local police are godparents to my half Filipino son. So I've integrated myself completely and totally into society here. And that's where you don't have problems as long as you're integrating yourself into the local culture. But if you're single and you're out raising hell and causing problems, you are going to be detained and deported and everything else. But if you're just like one of the locals here, and I'm not saying living like one of the locals, just because I'm a foreigner, I don't have to eat what they eat. And I do eat a lot of Filipino food, but because I'm on a pretty strict carnivore diet, I stick to just meat and eggs, butter. You can look that carnivore stuff up. So I used to be between 230 and 250 pounds most of my life, eating American diet, right? And I had to put a pretty high variety of American food. I ate lots of fruits and vegetables and stuff. But still, I was 230 to 250 because I ate lots of carbs. And now I'm under 200 pounds because I'm on a carnivore diet. And it's way, way, way 100% more healthy in every single way. So check it out if you're having weight problems. And also, I don't drink anymore either. Very, very, very rare that I'm going to ever drink anything. If I do, it'd be like gin and tonic or something like that. And I haven't had a drink now for, I think, 3 years, around 3 years. So, that's one thing too. When you retire, oh yeah, I'm retired now, and kick back by the pool or in the beach and drink myself to death like a fish, yeah, I did that for a couple years, and then that don't work too good, guys. It'll take a toll on you. So anyways, if you're wondering about coming to the Philippines, it's absolutely, you can survive here for little or nothing compared to in the West. And the medical system is tough, but you can get by just fine using the medical system here. There's no insurance of any kind required here, so don't bring your whole, oh, I'm going to die if I don't have insurance crap with you here in the Philippines. You just need cash and gold savings, and there is no insurance required by the government or anyone else. And people here prefer cash anyway, so all you need is cash savings, and gold. That's your best bet here in the Philippines, no matter what. So what's going on here lately, as you can see in the news, it's just, we're on the edge of World War III here. So get yourself in a safe place. You even have Elon Musk now and Trump at each other's throats. Why? Because Trump's doing things that the left and the Democrats are doing by having this huge, big, beautiful bill with a bunch of pork and a bunch of things that's getting the U.S. even further into debt. So, the whole system, the debt is so high into the trillions and hundreds and trillions and quadrillions of dollars in obligations of, all these entitlement programs and everything, right? It's crazy what's going on, and that's because it's a fiat currency, and they can print as much of it as they want, and the people that have the power to print all the money, they're the ones that are super rich. They don't have to do anything but just keep collecting the money and gaining more and more power until the whole system implodes, right? That's been what's been going on for years, guys. There's been so much money printed that we don't even know about, right? And it's all digital now too. As I say printed, printed means go on a computer and say, okay, I want 100 billion today, and they just print it out, on the computer, and type it in. It's ridiculous what's going on, and this is why you have to get completely out of debt, buy land in a safe place in the world, have gold and cash savings, because the whole thing, and even Social Security now, I'm going to try to be drawing that this year, and like 3-4 months from now I'll get my first check. And that whole system's a Ponzi scheme too. Even though I paid in on it all my life, worked my butt off, working 12, 18 hours a day for years and years and years, I might not get any of that. If the whole system implodes before I get my first check, I won't get any of it, right? So who knows what's going to happen? But with a Ponzi scheme, it all eventually fails and ends badly for everybody, and that's what's going on. And now you got Elon Musk with Doge, trying to save all those trillions of dollars, and the government waste and spending, and the Congress is not even implementing the savings, and they're just spending trillions more on this big beautiful bill, and it's ridiculous. They're like spoiled brats, and that's why I got away from the U.S. I mean, the U.S. and everyone's entitled. They feel entitled, like everyone owes them something, and it's ridiculous what's going on. The U.S. has been so spoiled for so long. So it's about to change. Who knows when that's going to be? Next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But man, I thought it would have been ended by now. But it always lasts way longer than what you think, because the system's so corrupt. So I'm hoping it'll last longer, because I'd like to get some nice benefits from Social Security for the next 10, 15 years before I'm dead. But the way it's going, I don't know. Doesn't look good, guys. But anyways, that's why you come to the Philippines. You get away from all that, and you get into a safe place, and then you have a homestead, and you're golden as long as you marry. And there's no divorce here, so you will never have a gun to your head or of Russian roulette thinking that your wife's gonna divorce your butt and take everything you own, and you're out on the street with nothing. That ain't gonna happen in the Philippines, because divorce is illegal here. The only thing you can do is be an idiot and abandon your Filipina because she's giving you tampo or treating you like crap or whatever. Just stand your ground. She's gonna stay with you. She don't have a choice, because unless you're signing on the dotted line for an annulment or you abandon her, you're gonna be fine. Just grow up, be a man, stand your ground. You're gonna be fine, man. And you have a choice. You're the one in the driver's seat in the Philippines, according to the law and the Constitution. That's why divorce is illegal, because the Constitution protects the family. In the U.S. and these Western countries that have divorce, you're screwed. The woman is in control. They're the ones in the driver's seat. No man is in the driver's seat in all these Western countries with divorce laws. So that's what you have to deal with your whole life. So I would recommend get to a country with no divorce, then build your empire from there. I had to learn after 2 marriages. The first one ended in divorce. Second one, my wife passed of cancer. And then I got smart finally and came to the Philippines. Married here, stayed here as long as I could, bought land with my Filipino wife, had children with my Filipino wife, and now we do things the Filipino way, which is cash only. And if you have a savings, money left over for savings, put it in gold. And the thing is, the Philippines, you marry a Filipina, you married the family, so you're supporting and helping her folks, her parents, maybe her brothers and sisters, who knows, right? But it's all cheap, but it adds up. So hopefully you can and everybody wastes money. Everybody wastes money and blows money. And this is the way I choose to blow and waste money, is to support my big, wide family now, Filipino family, and I put all my money in the land and building stuff here, and putting my roots in the ground of this society and this culture of the Philippines. And that's just some advice to you, the way I do it. A lot of people just want their selfishness in retirement and don't want nothing to do with anybody else, and just, have their own money until they're dead. Well, to each their own, right? I mean, if that's what you want, you're free to do what you want with the money that you made. But I feel that God blessed me my whole life, even though I was born a cripple. My parents brought me to doctors that were able to fix my feet. I was born with club feet, and most of my life, up until just a couple years ago, I was a normal person in society and had a great job and made lots of money, and now one of my feet, I've had to amputate half of my foot because it never was right my whole life. It was a little bit off. And then when you get older, and even my doctors told me when I was a younger age that I would be having a problem when I'm old. So now I have a half a foot, but I had it done here in the Philippines, $3,000 for amputation of half the foot, right? And I'm totally walking around doing everything I can around here, just like I have a full foot. Sure, it gets sore after a while. You have to, treat it a little bit nicer, but $3,000, no insurance, nothing, just out of cash, out of pocket cash, and it's a done deal. Never had any problems. I had all the antibiotics, all the modern conveniences at the private hospital I went to. Was no problem whatsoever. And that was in Dipolog City at the Ace Hospital, in case you guys are wondering. And like I say, I was there, 5 days, 6 days, and it's $50, $60 a day for a private room. You can watch my past videos if you want more details, but it's the only way to go. So now that hopefully I'll be getting Social Security, and as soon as I get my immigration situation all fixed up, I'll be heading back to the U.S. My mom's starting to fail on her health. I'll be visiting her, getting with friends and family, and getting my Social Security squared away. And probably from then on, if everything stays the same in the economy and everything, nothing implodes, or we don't end up with a nuclear exchange in the world, be going back and forth to the U.S. probably once every year, and then maybe getting a different kind of a visa for my immigration in the Philippines, probably in SSRV, where you have to put 10,000 into account, 10,000 US into a Filipino bank account, and my immigration consultant handles all that, and then you can come and go as you please out of the country. But if you do a 13A, there's travel restrictions, so I might not go with the 13A. I'm not really sure yet, but you guys can, there's lots of videos out there. And JRC is my immigration consultants that I go with. They're based out of Cebu, but they have an office there in Manila also, and they help expats with their immigration issues, whatever they might be. So, and I think I paid, what was it, maybe $1,000 US for them to take care of all my situation. And it's not resolved yet, but it could be resolved in the next couple months. Then I'll be heading back to the U.S. So that's about all I got for today. I just recommend that you get out of a country with nuclear weapons. Otherwise, you will be sorry, and you may never have any descendants, because if you get caught in a nuke war, that's it. That's all gone. So that's why I recommend getting out of a country that, if they have nuclear weapons, get out of it, because there's a high chance someday there's going to be a nuke exchange and there'll be generations wiped out. So that's why I came to the Philippines. The biggest reason, of course, is the no divorce, because that can wipe out your whole bloodline too. So get yourself to the U.S. or out of the U.S. and all these countries with nukes. Get to the Philippines or another country that does not have divorce laws, and you'll be golden for the rest of your life. And all your descendants will be golden. So take care for now. I love you guys with all my heart. Why? Because Jesus Christ says we should love each other you know, absolutely, and we shouldn't, we should forgive each other of our transgressions and always love thy neighbor. That's what Christ Jesus said with his own lips in the Bible. So take care, guys. I love you, and until next time, bye-bye.